All right, starting with the kick, we got a nice PML sample here, shortened quite a lot, and then EQing most of the highs out because I like to have a separate sample layer for the top kick. And then with the sub, nice to have control over the top end of the kick separately so you can easily dial in the sub of the kick better in the mix. I find it's easier to do that, to have them separate. I'll give you an example of what it sounds like without the top end. Yeah, definitely pokes through easier with the top frequencies there. And then just a little auto filter to help with the transitions and whatnot. Here's the main bass, courtesy of Diva. A little compressor bass preset. And then some saturation, courtesy of Decapitator, beefy preset. EQ taking out the subs and the low mid. A little compressor. I think I was just using this for gain. Yeah. And then we got some chorus to widen it up. Quite a lot. Some more EQ controlling the mud and the lower frequencies there. And then we got this sculpt, Neutron 3 sculptor under the bass preset as well. And then a lot of automation for the gain, as you can see, kind of gives it some life. It's nice to lower the gain or even the sustain as if it's like a sustain bass, kind of lower it as it progresses. And then for the next note switch, it's like more impactful when it's coming from a lower volume. Let's show you what I mean. Instead of just minor, but makes a difference. And then we're using track spacer for the sidechain. I didn't want the high frequencies to be pumping that much, so we got the high cut around 120. Yeah, I don't like that. I want it like that. So that's the main bass. Moving on to another layer. We got a little furry animal preset. More saturation. More EQ taking out the sub because we have our own sub layer, which we'll get to in a sec. And then I think, yeah, pretty much the same setup, minus a few things on the main bass. But yeah, this is just like kind of the airy, higher frequencies in the bass. And then sub bass right here using Serum. Just like that, nice and simple. Track spacer pumping. And then during drop 2, we have the nice wide kind of growly. Oof. Love it. An audio tent preset, Rebel. Can you tell I like the beefy preset? And then, EQ, again, similar setup as the other other tracks, other bass tracks, with a bit of plate reverb. Just to send it a bit further in the back. That's what I was hearing in Shingo's version of the track. So the bass together. group processing on the bass. We got a little bit of OTT, some R bass, really low intensity. If you're using R bass, you don't need a lot usually, and it kind of makes a decent difference. Just a bit helps. And then I was doing some other stuff, but didn't go through with it there. And then we have some auto filter again with the transitions. It's nice to take away the low end slowly as you're transitioning instead of having it full blast and then the transition it's still full blast. It's kind of less impactful. And then finally for the low end processing on the kick and bass, we have a glue compressor on the low extender preset. It just glues the bass and the kick a lot closer together because you'll notice without it, the kick is kind of pumping by itself, but then when you enable it, the bass kind of comes up in volume and they glue together and dance nicely. So I'll do some A and B testing for you. So there's two drum sections in this song. The intro is different than what's playing during the main drops. So real quick, here's what the intro drums sound like. Noise. So first little block hit here. There you go. Some EQ and reverb. We got some tambourine for the transition. Different layers. Got some sub, kind of low end. And then we got a bunch of shaker samples. Little rim shot and hats to play the groove that you hear here. City's glowing. I hear only air. There you go. That's the intro percussion. Now for the main percussion in the track, we have this little dirty noise kind of layer. I was trying to emulate one of the sounds I was hearing in the Shingo's version, but whatever he had going on, he has some weird sample that sounded cool, but I couldn't replicate it, so this is my compromise for that. And then just another sample loop. You take down the envelope here, it shortens the loop. And the top kick we went over already. Now the clap, bunch of samples mushed together with a transient shaper, lowering the sustain to shorten just to shorten the overall clap sound. Some decapitator saturation, drum fattener 1. Then another layer here. Gain automation. It probably must be just taken from a sample here. Yeah, just taking the clap sound, snare sound from this loop. And then some processing, some more transient shaping, taking more of the sustain down with a bit of room reverb. We got some hats. Similar idea with the claps, just mushing together a bunch of samples together. Another layer. Pitch down 7. Processing. Saturation. Some EQ. Giving some air with the air band. EQ, some widening. Definitely hear that. A little slap back. This might be automated. Let's see. Yeah, transition, reverb. Always good to have that. And then, yeah, the rest of these are just for transitions and whatnot. We got a percussion loop, adding more kind of vibe, more texture, more stuff going on. Then as the track progresses, we go a bit brighter, more energy, probably like shakers and whatnot. Got the Haas effect on the shaker. Together. And then for drop 2, more energy on the climax here. Some brighter hats and a ride. You can really hear the high end kind of disappear. And as a group, the drums are getting some OTT. Some saturation. A little bit of EQ shaping. Bit of reverb, 3%. And a slight side change of the kick. And there you go. Those are our dirty drums. Wouldn't be melodic house without some melodic elements. So first up, we got the piano. Emotional felt, noir. Yeah, when you're using piano VSTs, velocity matters. So really play around with the velocity to kind of shape your chords and whatever, because if they're all at 100 or whatever, it's going to sound way different than whatever you have set. Pretty much plays throughout the entire track with some automation on, the auto filter, making it a bit muted here. A couple of extra notes here and there. Yeah, we got some saturation, EQ, all reverb. That's about it for Mr. Piano. Then we have some extra piano layer here for the transition before the first drop. Very fragile. Delay, reverb. And then in the intro, break, outro, we got some lovely mallets. First layer is the main kind of mid-high layer. Then we got some little sprinkles, twinkles, just hitting the higher frequencies. Probably could have messed with the velocities, but didn't. We had movement with the automation, with the gain on the group. Just a bit of echo for the outro. Then we got some violins sounding like this. Decapitator going pretty hard. More saturation. Some fresh air, adding some high you can hear the s. OTT cranked. EQ, reverb. And these were made from this guy. Session Strings Pro 2. And then yeah, it kind of throughout the track, it comes in and out, more of these, higher frequencies. I'm super massive on them, so they're swelling in and out. And we got this layer in the intro. Angelic whispers. Just floats. Pretty much the same processing. I have them panning left and right oppositely. So this one's inverted, and this one's normal. So when this guy's going left, this guy's going right, and vice versa. And some saturation. Oh yeah, these sprinkles or these twinkles. Like I used a contact library. I don't remember what I used though. I should have saved it, but yeah, very nice. Let's hear how all this sounds in the intro here. Just the melodics. Nice. So I heard the ARP come in there. Let's go to the ARP. Where is it? Here we go. This is the ARP that kind of runs through the entire track too. We got Diva, of course. Pluck Quartz. Some reverb. Camel Crusher. I don't usually use this, but Here we are, British Clean, classic. Then another layer. Same processing. Group processing, we got more reverb. Percussion. This looks like a transition reverb. Yep. Yeah, that's this guy moves in and out, kind of going, you know, with the automation in and out. That's what you do with ARPs. You don't want it to be too stagnant. You want to kind of move them in and out with automation. So there you go. And then just a short little sample of the ARP, the black hole on it for transition purposes. And there we go. That's most of the melodic stuff. Kind of quickly ran through it. And then on the bus, on the main melodic group, we have a tape saturation. This is my favorite preset that I use on the J37. Yeah, not much processing needed. And then we have this reverb. So Shingo's, a lot of his songs are super atmospheric. So couldn't really figure out how to get that same vibe without throwing pretty much everything through this super massive using the Hydra harp preset. So pretty much the entire track, you can see right here, it's automated up here. So the entire track, it's running through this reverb to give it like a really nice just space and atmosphere. Because without it, big difference, right? So yeah, I don't know if that's what he does, but it kind of works. Kind of sounds pretty good. So yeah, that's the melodic stuff. We'll move on to the vocals. So I took the vocal, isolated it with, AI splitter software, whatever it is. I went to vocalremover.org. It's free. You can, get stems easily from there. Mountains rise. So this is the vocal from the track. Didn't really do anything to it, minus sending it to this reverb. Nice plate reverb. And it's also going to the super atmospheric, super massive send channel as well. And then a lot of vocal swells kind of in and out Shingo was doing. So these are my attempts. Basically just stretched and reverb and, And then the little and just took a snippet of the vocal. Shimmer. Shimmer's so good. Yeah, not much done with the vocals because you know, it was ripped from the original track. So there you go. And then for the effects, we have quite a bit. Like I said, Shingo's music is very atmospheric, very washy. And by washy, I mean like a lot of like noise and like just a lot of air. So I tried my best to emulate that. I don't think I was as graceful, but close enough. So we have these, you know, and quite a lot of sweeps and waves, and I'll show you what I did. So individually, we have all these samples, not really processed. Some waves with some shimmer. That's, if you watch my other video, you know I love waves and shimmer. And then on the group, OTT to brighten it up. EQ. Some more reverb. Automation with the auto filter. And then I also like to add noise with this tape saturator. You can automate the noise level. So you hear it right now. If you add OTT after that, it really brings it out and makes it sound bright. Got the drum, snare roll build. More noise, classic cashmere sweep. A little bit of a, almost like a CO2 spray with some reverb. And then more air, more noise. And there's a couple of cymbals. Yeah, here's a cymbal. And maybe a crash. And then in the second drop, there was like these bass kind of swells going in between each 8-bar transition. And the final thing that I do for transition sometimes, if it's like very like washy and noise kind of heavy, is this little rack that I picked up from Bound to Divide stream a while back. I'll show you what it does. You basically send whatever elements you want to this at full capacity, and then you automate the gain wherever you want it to start like washing up or swelling around. So I'll give you an example. Cool, so let's check over the mastering chain. Here it is without. Not a huge difference, but definitely widens it, brightens it, you know, the good stuff. So starting off with some EQ. Not much going on there. Bit of boosting, some taming. My favorite imaging here, stereo imaging. Here is what I'm doing with that. Why don't we start it all from the beginning here. So yeah, I find this imager helps so much in mastering. So if you don't have this, try it out. Usually I would avoid widening this frequency, but I don't know, man. Just works. Now the classic glue compressor, default settings, just a little bit. Doing what it says, gluing it all together. We got some high frequency stereo width preset here. Listen to the hats. Yeah, I find it makes it brighter and definitely wider. Smooth bass, smooth highs, I think. Kind of just controlling the both sides of the spectrum here. Yeah, I think the highs are a little too bright without this. And then, you know, Golf Waltz mastered, not doing a whole lot. Probably didn't even need to add it, to be honest. It's subtle, and basically I just have to use it now because I spent whatever $200 on it, so it's always on my master chain no matter what, just so I don't feel like I wasted my money. And then we got some Pro L on the practically clipping preset, true peak off. Nice. Sounds pretty good. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps with your melodic house journey, and definitely try to remake your favorite tracks, because this was a big help personally, remaking this track. Learned a lot going through it, and I came out a better producer in the end, I think. So yeah, give that a go. It helps. Take care.
Mountains rise up into the night. I'm still here by your side. Cities glowing, I hear only end. I'll walk with you until we drop. Say goodbye to the light. I'm with you now and always will.